this is Ilina and welcome to another LDRS creative card video. Today we'll be adding foiling to die cuts. The products that I will be using today is the Slimline Droplet Pocket Mini Slimline die, Numeric die set. There are also stamps that coordinate with the die set, but I won't be using those, and also the Happy Me, Happy You Sentiment Stack stamp set and Sentiment Stacks die 2. So here I've already die cut 2022. The first set of 2022 is die cut from, I had used printer paper and applied double-sided adhesive and ran it through my die cutting machine. And then I have another two sets for stacking. I'm also using gold and silver foil. This is the toner activated foil. It's not the glimmer foil. So what I'm adding here, I'm removing the adhesive and I'm gonna add it on the back side of that foil with the adhesive side down. I'm burnishing it with my bone folder. So another important thing is to remember to apply that adhesive on top of your paper, so the adhesive will be the side that you will put your die on when you're die cutting those. It won't be on the bottom. We'll add those. I'll just use liquid adhesives to stack those dies. I'm just using the double-sided adhesive for the foiling. So now I did one and I'm adding the rest of the numbers, burnishing it up. Just be careful, since this is printer paper. I find it easier to die cut when you have a little bit more intricate dies when you use the printer paper than cardstock. Now I'm stacking the two that were die cut from white cardstock, and then on top of those, the stack of two, I will add the foiled number, and I repeat the same for all of them. So we have you will end up with 6 twos that are die cut from cardstock, 3 from the printer paper and added foil, and then we have 2 zeros and 1 from cardstock and 1 zero that's foiled. I'm putting those under acrylic blocks so they dry nice and flat. While those are drying, I will do my background. So in order to match my numbers, I decided to add double-sided tape on a piece of paper and add some foiling. I decided to add gold and silver for a little bit more interest. So I have grid paper here. You can use any grid paper you have handy, or you can just mark your marks so you make sure that when you apply that adhesive tape, the lines are straight. So I measured the numbers, and I didn't want to add tape or any foiling where the numbers are, since they're still already foiled. So I just wanted those numbers to create a little bit more contrast and not blend in with the background. So I'm adding tape. I have double-sided tape. I have two widths, and I apologize here, I'm off the camera, but I'll move just in a second. So I have two widths, 1/8 and 1 1/4. And I'm adding parallel lines, leaving that 1.5 inch in the middle. And I'm alternating between foiling. So as I add those, I apply foil. I'll peel it here, and you see that the foil is right there. It just sticks to the adhesive. Just remember, when you apply the foil on top, the non-shiny side is down and the shiny side or the face of the foil is up. So you're gonna keep repeating the same process as you apply those adhesive strips going upwards and downwards from that 1.5 inch space in the middle. So I'm not creating any pattern besides alternating colors between gold and silver. I just mixed the width and the spacing between the lines. I didn't want to be very symmetric. I'm just burnishing it up. When you burnish it after you have applied the foil, it removes some of that shine, and it's more matte gold and matte silver, which I like better. So you will see me towards the end that I will burnish also the numbers using my bone folder to remove some of that shine and have more of a matte effect. So now when I'm done, I'm just running that outline from my Droplet Slimline die to cut that frame, and I will adhere the 2022 in that empty area in the middle. I'm burnishing those to remove some of the very shiny foil to create more of a matte effect. So adhere those, and I added acrylic blocks to make sure that they dry nice and flat. Next, I got two more pieces of cardstock using the same die, and to add some dimension, or you can use also foam tape or craft foam to add dimension. Just like cardstock, because it makes my card more sturdy. In meantime, while that's dry, I will stamp the sentiments using the Happy Me Happy You sentiment stack, and I will stamp with Watermark and embossing ink, and then emboss in gold. I'm using my stamp positioning tool. I'm using anti-static powder tool to make sure I don't have random speckles of gold embossing powder all over the place. I'll stamp one more time. Okay, I think that looks good. Next, what I'll do, I'll add some gold embossing powder. I'm using some piece of scrap paper to catch the excess embossing powder, which in my case looks like the entire jar. Okay, I will close that so I don't knock it over by mistake and end up with embossing powder all over my desk and the floor. So next, I heat up for about 30 seconds my heat tool, and then heat set that, melted that embossing powder. Okay, now we're done. Now I'm positioning the sentiment stack die 2. I'm securing it with some repositionable tape, and I run it through my die cutting machine. By magic of YouTube, here we have all the sentiment strips. Okay, let's assemble the card now. I'm just picking one of the sentiments and trying to decide where I want to position that sentiment. So I'm using some foam tape on the back, and I'll use tear ruler to make sure that that's nice and straight. I'm adding the sentiment between gold and silver strip. Okay, now I decided for a little bit more interest to add some gold and silver baubles. I'm adding a little bit of like adhesive dots on my card panel, and then dropping the bubbles in those little drops of adhesive. Okay, I'll add one more. Okay, now to finish off the card, we need to create card base. I have 5.5 by 6 piece of cardstock, and I scored it at 3 inches. The 6-inch side I scored at 3 inches, and next I'm just adding that panel to the card we created. That's it for today. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to give us thumbs up if you like this video. Also, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and visit our blog for more ideas and more inspiration. Thanks for watching. Bye!